Stop. That's enough. We'll just leave it. Okay. I can see that was going somewhere we hadn't really intended. There was some confusion. Paul gave Mark a folder of articles we weren't using. But that's okay. That's okay. I was still picking up on some really interesting themes there. Well, the other side of the crisis. The effect of the crisis on the real world. Yeah, and, well, that was really interesting. We need to look at these things. Yeah. Particularly now, when finance is getting a bad reputation. But I think we've gone deeply enough into that one for now. I think it would be a good time to have a breakdown session. Yeah, so we can hone in on some fundamentals. Let's move into some smaller groups and we'll workshop just one idea, playing a little game called the What If game. I give you a concept and you have to ask yourselves, what if that concept were a person or a thing? What would it be like? Okay, Ian, Suad and Sartaj, your concept is going to be money. Come over here. Paul and Rose will take care of you. Your concept will be technology.
Money. What could we possibly say that's new?
Okay, shall we give it a go? Yeah. All right, what if you had to present all contemporary technology that the finance world rests upon today as one thing? What would it be like?
How hard can it be?
Well, what's money like?
It's really not like a thing.
True, it is always changing.
Or something evolving, a dynamic process. Life on Earth, evolving in stages. Money is a single-cell organism in primordial goo. And then it develops basic needs. It eats, it grows, it reproduces.
It's like a fish. And then it grows legs, and now it's on land. Crawling, scurrying, trotting. And always reproducing until it becomes more complex. And then finally it becomes sentient.
So it evolves in great leaps until suddenly it's walking upright, a creature conscious of its own existence. And then what does it do?
Well, it starts thinking about managing its own growth and consciously engineers its expansion. And then one day it says, I think, therefore I am. And it grows bigger and more powerful, and this self-understanding makes it invest in itself, trade in itself, buy itself, loan itself, make IOUs to itself, trade those IOUs as if it were itself, always expanding in any way it can imagine and considering nothing but itself.
But although it's getting bigger and bigger, it forgets to reproduce itself. It spreads, it sprawls, it grows obese, but it fails to mate until one day it realises it hasn't reproduced at all. It's gargantuan, but completely sterile.
Okay, so once upon a time, technology was just a simple machine. It grew up serving people, taking in simple inputs and producing simple outputs that gave them comfort and assistance in their daily lives. The machine helped them run their lives so well that people wanted more help. They asked it to feed them, warm them, clothe them, transport them, educate them. They became reliant on the machine. They started to shape their lives around it and dedicated their work to feeding in inputs and distributing outputs. In fact, they organised their whole society around it. But the machine became so efficient, it needed the people less and less. It began to produce more and more than the people could use, more than they could sell. Rejoice, they said, soon there'll be enough for everyone. But there was a problem. The people forgot that if the machine didn't need them, society didn't need them either. The people who had made the machine grew afraid. What if the machine didn't need them? So they began to appease the machine. They began to feed it the things that they had made and feed it the people who had made it. Yes, so and the world became divided between people who were feeding the machine and people who were being fed to it, and the machine became insatiable, and the more you fed it, the more it ate.
Until one day they fed the machine to itself and they all died happily ever after.
Great, that was really productive. Okay, I'd like to go back to Evergain. Whatever happened to Ian Newman? Is he still in his coma? And are Babel Capital still profiting at his misfortune?